Hey everyone, Mark here at the Redfern Food Forest, and I gotta tell you, I've been really conflicted the last week. All I want to do is plant stuff and put it in the ground, but at the same time, it's still cold out at night, it's snowing, so I'm just like, what am I gonna do? The answer, plant everything, everywhere. Let's go. So the first thing I'm doing is utilizing this little greenhouse I have here next to me. I bought it a couple of years ago, and yesterday and today what I've started to do is to put some seeds in different containers and let them sit here in the greenhouse with the hopes that it protects them from the frost overnight. And if you watch some of my other recent videos or you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll know I've been planting some potatoes over here in the garden as well as back in the food forest, and I've been planting some spinach and radishes and other cold weather crops to try and get a head start on the season. This bucket here is my thermometer. It's full of water, so I know that if there's ice in there in the morning, it froze at night. This greenhouse is pretty simple. It just got two zippers right here. This flap opens up and you can roll it up. It was super cheap. I think I bought it at a big box store a couple years ago, like I said. What happened to me a few years ago is just before I wanted to transplant my starts outside, the wind blew them over. There was a windstorm. So this year I've learned, and I have a couple metal posts on either side to help hold it in place, as well as I put a bunch of dirt on the bottom to keep it secure. What I have started in here are a variety of different crops, and I just use popsicle sticks with Sharpie to mark the dates and the actual kind of crop and the variety I planted so I can keep track of it, and I'll have it documented here on camera so I know for the future what worked and what didn't. And then I just give it a little spritz of water, make sure everything's nice and saturated. I'm going to come out here and check it every day or two and make sure it stays moist until things start to germinate. The day is over, the sun is going down, but I want to take a few more minutes and plant a couple more vegetables here in some different containers and show you what I've been doing. So one of the first things I've noticed with the different plants I've started indoors is I've had success with some varieties, like corn has been successful, other things not so much. And it looks like the corn and the vegetables that are doing the best are in the largest containers. What I have are a bunch of these solo cups that I bought several years ago when I was trying to start some seeds. And I just punched some holes in the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes for drainage. And those seem to work really well. I also tried some cut up paper towel and toilet paper rolls. And then I tried the bottom half of an old pop bottle as well. And like I said, I feel like, at least with the small sample size, the larger containers worked better. So what I started in the greenhouse was actually this thing right here. This Pro Hex little professional seed starting tray. It says professional. It was just at the local store, so it's not that big of a deal. And then I also have a bunch of these old little containers from buying starts a couple years ago, so I'm using those as well. And then for seed starting mix, it's kind of the same thing. I'm using this Jiffy seed starting mix. Why'd I choose it? It's because it was the only thing they had at the store, so it'll work just fine. The other thing that I've kind of observed and learned from trying to start some seeds indoors and also transplanting those apple trees earlier this season was that when I collect soil from the garden, even though it's good rich soil, there's lots of pods and seeds and different weeds and grasses already in there, and so I have to keep plucking those out. Whereas if I buy this pre-made seed starting mix, it's basically sterile, there's nothing to grow in it, and the drainage is really, really good. So that's what I'm using today to start my seeds in. I think what I'll do today is maybe half these, so that many. I don't want to do them all at once. I'm kind of hedging my bets because if these do all die off due to a freeze, I mean, they're only seeds, they're only a few dollars, it's not that big of a deal, but I'd rather not lose everything all at once, I'd rather lose half. And this way, if I plant a few more different seeds every couple of days, it can help stagger my, my succession planting throughout the early season here. So let's fill these guys up, give you an example of what I've been doing. The hardest part and the most important part of your planting is choosing what it is you want to plant. So today I have 6 different potters I'm showing you. I'm going to use 3 different vegetables. I'm going to do the broccoli, watermelon, and peppers. The broccoli is the Sun King hybrid variety. The watermelon variety I'm planting is the Bush Sugar Baby. And last but not least, I'm planting some sweet peppers, the Carnival blend. And I really hope these work. I love peppers. I could eat different colored peppers every day, and I've never really had success growing them. So hopefully this helps give me the head start I need. So this is where I need your help. Instead of me always selecting what I want to plant, I want you to help me. So pick your favorite vegetable variety or something that you want to see me grow here in the garden, and leave it in a comment below and I'll plant it for you, or I'll try my best. The next very important step is to label them, definitely the type, and I'm also labeling them with the date, just so again I have a record of knowing what worked on what day, so when I use this in the future years, hopefully I don't make the same mistakes, or at least not as many. Now I'm gonna put my popsicle sticks in before I put the seeds in, that way I don't put them in the wrong spot. And as I've talked about before, I'm gonna put 2 to 3 seeds in each spot, just to make sure I get germination from at least one of them. Seeds are cheap and I can always buy more. Now, just to make sure my seeds are covered, I'm gonna sprinkle a little more soil on top and then spritz them down till they're really nice and saturated with a water bottle sprayer. I don't wanna pour the water on top. It might make the seeds splash all over the place. One good tip for you that I didn't do today is to actually pre-saturate or pre-wet your soil or your potting mix material before putting the seeds into it. That way you don't have to water it afterward and risk washing the seeds away. There we go. Let's pop these guys in the little greenhouse. There we go, guys. Another set of seeds in the greenhouse, just waiting to germinate, be transplanted, and provide food, hopefully, for me all summer long. Over the coming 3 weeks or so, which is the end of my expected average last frost date, I'll be doing this probably every 4 or 5 days, at least once a week, if not twice. Additionally, I'll be sowing directly into the ground many of these same varieties, as well as others. And I'll be sure to film some of that for you so you can come along and watch the journey. Until next time, I'll see you in the forest.